Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. Here's a quick message from our sponsor, Local Works Wheat Ridge, provided by its Executive Director, Paige Piper.
Local Works is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to make Wheat Ridge a more vibrant and sustainable place to live and work. Our mission and action is programming that provides neighborhood revitalization and small business support, keeping and growing the businesses we know and love in Wheat Ridge. In simpler form, we provide connection. Connection to business, connection to community.
This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Amber Betts.
Hey there, welcome to Good Neighbor Podcast, West Denver. I'm here for another interview. We're here with Cody Ford of Providence at 5280 in Edgewater. Hey, Cody, how are you?
Doing good. How are you doing, Amber?
Good. Thanks for being here. So tell us about Providence at 5280.
We're a local neighborhood restaurant and bar. Great weekly food specials. Nice, neat menu where we've got things that you can modify in different ways, like a lot of our neighborhood guests typically do. All of our meat is locally sourced from a butcher shop, literally a farm-to-table type experience when it comes to anything like that. We've worked with those guys for a long time. They bring their ranchers in here. They sit down, have a burger. Really nice little experience that we have there. And the weekly specials that we do, we allow our kitchen staff to get creative and do things that they want to do on a weekly basis. Typically in the summertime, we do more of like a sandwich type menu. Wintertime, we want you to have like a dinner platter, something hearty. And then we also do, $2 Taco Tuesdays, and a lot of the stuff here is too cheap as is, cheap at twice the price, we like to say.
Awesome. Sounds like some good specials. So tell us, Cody, like how you got into the business, kind of your backstory.
Well, initially when I got out of the oil field, I started working here as a barback, just a little something to kind of, fill a gap. Absolutely fell in love with Edgewater as a community first, and then Providence second. So I had worked here for a while, and I was a barback, I was a bartender, I was a server. I kind of just did whatever needed to be done. And through that, I was fortunate enough to gain enough experience that when the opportunity came up to reopen Providence, I felt pretty comfortable in that and decided to go for it with, once again, the neighborhood and the people of this community being my passion.
Love it. So tell us why your customers love you or keep coming back. I mean, there's lots of new restaurants always coming out. There's lots of stuff in the area, but what keeps people coming back?
I think really it's just like the small vibe that we have at Providence. You'll find that people liken it to Cheers or their favorite English or favorite Irish pub. And I think that's a compliment to Providence, the building itself. The fact that it's able to create that vibe, that it's almost like a canvas where the customer has their own paintbrush when they come in. We do get rowdy from time to time. It's definitely not your typical corporate type setting. It is a family-owned business. We do get to know all of our regulars and the people that come in on a first-name basis. It's not uncommon. Someone sits down and they've got a drink in front of them before they even order.
Awesome. I love that vibe. So tell us, Cody, about, any kind of hardships or challenges. I'm sure COVID is going to be a thing, but we heard a lot on this podcast. But how you overcame it or what made you stronger?
Well, every one of them's definitely made us stronger. I had a general manager at one point in time that did a lot of what they call flips, and that would be like a bar rescue type situation.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end of the pandemic, he told me that he felt like I got a PhD in bar ownership just through that. Obviously, that presented the challenges that, everybody encountered during that time. So that, definitely made us very resilient, and our ability to pivot and overcome definitely grew during that time. But I mean, we've had, floods and all kinds of different little issues here. This building's over 100 years old. So anytime, you have a building that's over 100 years old, it'll give you those aesthetics. They give you, Cheers in Boston or an Irish pub feel. But, it's also an old building, and that comes with its challenges as well. And so through that, we've just learned how to kind of hunker down in the wintertime and get after it. We threw a down the river party to celebrate a flood we had that was, thousands of gallons underneath the floor here one day. So we just try to embrace it and make the best out of it.
I love that attitude. That's perfect. So I know you mentioned you have the weekly specials, but any other news or updates or anything you want to share coming up on the horizon with the listeners?
Absolutely. Right now, we're getting ready to round out a little toy drive that we participate in every year. It's a Wounded Warriors toy drive. So these are children that lost their parents in the line of duty. So because of that, the Marine Corps decided that they would bring Christmas to those kids every year. So we're still currently collecting toy donations. We do that up until December 9th. December 9th, we'll have a wrapping party on our inside patio. Anyone that wants to attend and volunteer is more than welcome to come down for that. And it's really cool because you kind of get to take ownership of it at that point. You get a slip with the child's name on it, what their age range is, and then you go pick the gifts at the table, wrap them. And like I said, it kind of gives you your own sense of ownership of that. So we have that going on, rounding out. And then we've got a couple other charities that we're going to do this month. I would recommend just following our Facebook and Instagram on that and stay up with that. But we're doing different things like supporting teachers in Liberia this month. We got a beer coming on draft that supports the Maui fires. That should be coming up today or tomorrow as well.
Cool. So that perfectly leads into my next question, like how you give back. You just said a bunch of things, but what else that like you do to get involved with the community in Edgewater and the surrounding areas?
Well, that's one of the things that made me fall in love with Edgewater initially, like I talked about, was just the reciprocal relationship of the city of Edgewater. It's like a small town, so it's a lot easier to get involved in Edgewater than it would be in other places. I've worked a lot with Joel Newton, and he runs the Edgewater Collective and also the Edgewater Echo, which is the newspaper out here. During the pandemic, he formed a program called Mutual Meals, where he would come place a food order, support Providence as a business, and then he collected volunteers from the neighborhood to be the delivery drivers, and he would take those to needy families, kids that couldn't go to school anymore, that really needed that free lunch of the day, senior citizens that were told not to even go outdoors. There's a wide range there that he was taking care of. And during that time, I told him, man, this is really special. If there's ever anything we can do to give back, please let me know. Obviously, at that time, he wasn't interested. But shortly after, we did a charity dinner in conjunction with Joyride Brewing. And we sold those plates and we gave 100% of the proceeds back to Jefferson High School. They have a vocational program where they do vinyl wrap, culinary, and they also do automotive work over there. And that money went directly to those programs. So, there's many of those, but we typically try to keep whatever charity work we do in the neighborhood and really close to where we know that it's supporting the community of Edgewater because they support us.
I love that. So obviously, I'm sure you keep busy with the business, but what are we doing for fun? What are we doing outside of work? What's your interests?
I've got a family and they're getting older, but definitely going home and spending some time with my girls. My wife and me have 3 Great Danes at home, so those dogs take up a lot of space and a lot of time as well. I have a little puppy that I recently rescued from a bad situation, and he's kind of more a feral dog. He's getting better day by day and learning how to be a dog, but a lot of time put into him. And other than that, I just try to go out and have some fun.
Amazing. All right. Well, that just about does it. Tell the listeners if there's anything we missed, last words, and then just how to, your location, website, how to reach you, that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. So we're located at 5280 West 25th Avenue in Edgewater, Colorado, right on the corner of Ames and 25th Avenue, which we consider to be Main Street here in Edgewater. So we're not hard to find from that standpoint. Providence 5280.com is our website. You can find all of our links to our social media from there as well. We post our weekly specials on there, updated draft lists. We do have 14 taps, rotate the majority of those. We have a happy hour from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. every day. It's $4.50 for several of the drafts, just depending on the week, what it is with the rotation. But that does include our wells and our wines. We do $2 Taco Tuesdays. We also do a Wine and Whiskey Wednesday. The idea behind that is that the weekly specials should still be sitting there so you can go out, have a nice glass of wine. There's multiple wines from Josh Sellers on there, white and red. And then the whiskeys that we throw out there for $5 are Elijah Craig and Rittenhouse Rye as well.
Amazing. Good deals. All right, Cody. Well, I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Amber. Appreciate it.
Yep. And thanks for the listeners.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpwestdenver.com. That's gnpwestdenver.com or call 720-295-9588.